Beautiful day. Just got back from Cabernet Tour actually. It's roughly 4 o'clock, probably just after 4 o'clock now. Went into Cabernet Tour for just immigration issues, the normal stuff, and then had some lunch there. Bought Ate, Rich's sister, eldest sister, one of those floor beds that some people love to sleep on. Here I am walking out of the shop with it.
Hello.
And it's been a hot one today, really has. Really hot, but fantastic. You know, the joys of living in the tropics. And being Holy Week, Richie has to cook something for the church tonight. So she's busy getting that done now. And a rice dish of some kind, I think. And then, yeah, I'm chilling out because there is nothing else for me to do now until 5:30 tomorrow morning when I'll get up. I've got lessons early tomorrow as well. Yeah, no lessons today at all. Well, it's now midday on a Wednesday afternoon now, just after 12, 5 minutes past, and it's warm. What I forgot to also tell you is this week is Holy Week, so we don't have the builders working at all this week. Some companies do work, some companies don't. Obviously school holidays at the moment, summer school holidays here, or not summer, spring. They have long holidays now, between now. So Mikey goes back to school in June. So he's off now until June. And that's how it works. Which is, well, he's happy, obviously. Well, good morning and welcome to another beautiful morning here in the Philippines in this Holy Week, just before, as we call it in the UK, Easter weekend. And it's a beautiful day. And I'm just waiting to find out what time is Tatai going to be released from hospital. He's been in there for 4 days now. I wanted to talk for just a few minutes on living in the Philippines, in the province, in particular in the province, as an expat, in my case a British expat, because I hear lots of people do get disillusioned with it and do come here, really try hard and then leave because it doesn't work out for them. And I would guess that's at least, this doesn't suit at least 50 to 60% of people who come here, I would say. And it's very important to understand and accept the fact of what life is really like here in terms of living here as a Westerner. The culture is very different, of course it is. The way we do things here in the Philippines is very different to how we do them in the Western world, certainly in the UK. Pace of life is much slower. You could complain and say there's a lot of inadequacies in life, in living here. And I would say particularly when it comes to things like healthcare. I often hear stories of relationships that go wrong between Westerners and their partners as well. But actually that's life, that goes on everywhere. It's not just in the Philippines, it's an everyday life occurrence that's going on everywhere. And so I don't think that's, but when you are involved in a multicultural or mixed culture environment, relationship, it's, of course, you've got to work harder at it. There are things that you've got to understand and appreciate. And I think it's not all about you. It's all about the other party as well. That's very key. And in these very close-knit family environments, there are lots of things you've got to get to know and understand. You can't bring the West here and expect to be happy. So there are frustrations constantly in that respect. But I personally, adopt them as part of life here, which I guess I've done in every country I've lived in, whether it's been in Africa, where I've lived there for many years, in the Middle East, again, where I've lived for many years. And here is no different. Here is no different. People say you don't have any rights here, you don't have any advantages here. But yeah, if you think like that, though, you shouldn't come here in that respect. To me, there's many advantages living here compared with living in the UK, starting with the beauty of the place, the surrounding countryside, the slow pace of life, the healthy food, the low cost of living, of course. And the people are wonderful. The people generally are very kind, very, very, very helpful, and get on with life to a large degree. So this I wouldn't swap. Of course, I also love my family, love my wife and care deeply for that. So I will do my best to help them through difficult situations, as best I can, anyway. And that's what you do. That's what life is about here. So you've got to just embrace that change in life. You've got to embrace it with understanding and care and thought. And what I'm saying doesn't just apply to the Philippines. It applies to any country you go and live in, really. But when you come to the Philippines, you must understand you're coming from, if you're coming from the UK, you're coming from a so-called first world, the fifth richest country in the world, to what is most definitely, in the province in particular, third world. Now, I don't look at it like that. I come here and I love it, because you couldn't get this way of life in the UK, but I'm living here. And to me, that's the bonus. In fact, you can live this simple life here and just get on with it. Sure, the challenges are trying to get some things done sometimes, but that's life, you know, that's life. And one just embraces it, enjoys it. I would certainly say this life in the province isn't for everybody. You know, it certainly isn't for everybody, but there are many that do enjoy it. My videos, I just show the simplicity of life around me because that's the reality of it. That's what it is. That's what it is all about. It's so you're seeing the chickens, the dogs, the sounds around me in the morning. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock now, by the way. We've been up for a few hours. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful life. Breathing in the fresh air, feeling the sun on your skin, the moisture when it's humid. It gets hot, very hot. Be aware of that. If you don't like heat, don't come to the Philippines, I would say. Don't consider the Philippines as an option. It's not a good place to come to if you hate heat. You're gonna love the heat. But embrace it. If you're gonna come, embrace it. Give it time as well. Come here, give yourself plenty of time. At least 3 to 6, well, I'd say 6 months at least, but to actually come to terms with what life is really like here. You can achieve at least some understanding in that time frame. Some understanding, not a lot, but some. There's lots of videos on budgets. I would ignore most of them, to be honest. I would ignore most of them and come and see for yourself. Of course, here is significantly cheaper than the UK. But things move along. This week, we haven't had much done on the house, but this week is Holy Week, so roof is ordered and is being delivered, I'm told, on Monday. Bamboo is being cut it's been cut all in the week and last week, and it should also be delivered on Monday, Tuesday. We've got some more timber we're ordering as well, and then we're going to have majority of the kit for getting a lot of this house completed. And that's the great thing about this as well, because we are, you know, we're doing this on a month-to-month basis. We're building this house through just our own hard work that we earn on a monthly basis. We're not owing anything, we're not borrowing anything, we're just doing it as we go. And it's working fine, it's working very well. Something else you couldn't do very easily in the UK or in Europe, build a house that way. You'd have to take a loan, or you'd have to have a lot of cash to put down to build it the way we're doing. My estimate is on this property, we should have it finished, the house I mean, we should have it finished. I still think, I said, what did I say, end of August, September, I still think that's going to be more or less the time frame. If we start seeing the roof going on next week, sides going on, the frame going on the sides, we'll be there, well on our way. Here's the little woman making the porridge. Hello, little woman.
So, yun, going back. Gross, kakayos, pampain. Gross! Sabi ni Ivy Matos. Oh, ni Ivy.